Hey, shalom, shalom. Bear with me, Balabaki Aminakwav. Let me see here. Shalom, shalom. All right, here we go. Forgive me for the delay. Make sure this is working good. This sound, yeah. Looks like we got sound. Con, hey. Shalom, shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth, and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwav. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, the true names of the Heavenly Father, the world ignorantly calls God, and his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Yahweh Shai. The true names in the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashawan Kodash, is Yahweh. All right, Yah means he. Hawa means he is, he exists. All right, he is, man. All right, he's an omnipotent power. His incorruptible spirit is in all things, pursuant to wisdom of Solomon. 12:1. Bahashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai, Yah means he. Yahweh Shai means deliverer or savior. All right, and he's coming back to deliver the elect of his people of the nation of Israel, which consists of so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, which some of those Israelites are going to look like heathen. All right, due to the scattering of Deuteronomy 28:64. All right, but their bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, regardless of what they look like. All right, so we're in beautiful times, man. We're in the times where Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is making it plain upon tables, man. All right, he's making it plain upon tables. All right, and these prophecies are speaking loud and clear, man. All right, and you see, I'm going to be tapping into this situation going on with Bishop Nathaniel, Oil Can Harry, as the beloved elder, Elder Apostle Ariam calls him. Because he's real slick and smooth and sneaky. All right, when it comes to the doctrine that he's leading the charge with over there at the IUIC. All right, but he's not fooling anybody but his zombies and himself. All right, because at the end of the day, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, he's constantly getting caught. He's constantly getting caught by the spirit. He's slipping up. All right, and we have some we have a receipt, courtesy of the beloved brother Gabar Yahweh out of Hawaii. But I'm not going to be using his specific video as far as his channel is concerned. I'm I'm Elder Apostle Tahar. I was watching his video early this morning that he made a response to his video. I'm gonna just use the elders clip that he used in the beginning. But needless to say, this is crazy, bro. All right, these guys are just, they do it. I mean, Jake is something else, man. But this is no surprise. You know, Jake been selling out since the beginning. You know, same spirits are back. The righteous spirits are back. Sellout spirits are back. All right, and at the end of the day, as we titled, you know, the video, the deceived and the deceiver, all right, belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. At the end of the day, okay, Bishop Nathaniel is deceiving himself, you know, and whoever follows behind his wayward doctrine. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the catalyst leading him to that error in the spirit, you know. And this man's moving like a complete fox, you know, but he's being exposed, you know. So for you guys over there, you people following behind this dude still, all right, and you're following him to your own demise, all right, because here it is, he's trying to tap into, and we got the receipt, we're gonna grab it, you know. He's tapping into Swift, you know, he's tapping into you know, bricks, right? He's shedding light, right, on the reality of CBDCs, which talks to Revelations 13:16. Why is that a conversation point for you when your breakdown of the mark of the beast was an embargo from the last I remember? You know, you could see he's leaning towards the reality of what the MOTB is, just like what Apostle Ariamna was going to say they were going to do. You see, this is it, man. Hey, the Lord is showing who he's dealing with. And you sheep out there, you don't want to follow these false prophets and wolves and the wolves in sheep's clothing. You want to follow. You're gonna be led right to your demise with them. Yep, the scriptures tell us this. Now, real quick, what I want to do through the Spirit. Let's go here. Bear with me. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 14, in verse 9, and it reads, "And if a prophet be deceived when he hath spoken a thing, I, the Lord Yahweh, have deceived that prophet," okay, "and will stretch out my hand upon him, and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel," bro. So you see that, hey, the scriptures coin the Lord as a gen, all right, which that's likened unto a trap. All right, here it is. You got this guy, Bishop Nathaniel, making all types of money, man. He's a millionaire. It's well known. Okay, and it's through the false doctrine and the false narratives he's been pitching. He's sold out. Okay, and you can clearly see he sold out. It's obvious. Okay, the men of the Lord are not going to be these extravagant, well-to-do, worldly figures, man. No, man, the men of the Lord are going to be lowly, hated, despised, disregarded, okay, persecuted. You see? Suffering wrongfully, not glorified, praised. You see? So at the end of the day, you know, for you sheep following behind this madman, he's switching up the doctrine on you 3 times a year. Hey, guess what? You're gonna get exactly what you deserve, because you see, the Lord said he's gonna cut that false prophet off. You see, he said he's gonna cut off that false prophet from the midst of his people, bro. Now, if you're joined unto these false prophets, what do you think is gonna happen to you? Well, let's find out, right? Let's keep reading. Continuing on in Ezekiel 14 and verse 10, "And they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity," because it's super wicked what this dude's doing. All right, iniquity goes into sin on top of sin. This dude's scattering the Lord's sheep. Okay, And the Lord doesn't take kindly to that. The Lord commanded us to feed the flock. All right. And we're supposed to feed them with nutritious, okay, rich in nutrients, okay, food, not GMO. All right. Not lies and deception, not contaminated water. Right. And this is what you're getting from over at the IUIC and these various other congregations that are lying to you, bro. Don't you, Jake, understand that your soul depends on what doctrine you under? As far as you falling victim to the rage of the Lord? Don't you see? Don't you get it? You're gonna get it soon enough. You're gonna find out. All right, look, and they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet, all right, shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him. Okay? So, hey, it's time to lock in, man. Because a lot of you cats that follow behind IUIC and BOW and HOI and WFI, you are also listening to GMS, right? And men that are teaching the same doctrine. Okay? The disciples of GMS teaching the same doctrine, bro. Coming in the same spirit. You're listening. And you're going this way and you're going that way and you're listening to them. And now you're confused. You don't know what to believe. Right? Not realizing the script, the Lord said, keep your eyes single. You see, because these guys are going to be found with guile in their mouth, man. The true prophets are not going to be found with guile in their mouth. All right? The true prophets are not going to teeter and totter on the fence. No, man. It's going to be direct. This prophecy, Revelation 13, it's plain. There's no way you can cancel out the reality of that happening into economics. You see? But here it is. Now he's finding himself in a position, along with a lot of these other guys. They're going to find themselves in the same position. You know, you got guys talking about, oh, you don't have to know what the mark of the beast is, as long as the Lord knows your heart. What kind of shit is that? That's what you're leading your congregation with? As long as the Lord knows your heart, you ain't got to worry about the mark of the beast. A prophecy that tells you that you're damned for the most part, okay? And you're going to suffer torment, okay, if you take it, which equates to you being caught up in the Lord's second death in its perfection. You know, but you're not supposed to, you don't necessarily have to know what it is. All right, you got guys doing 24-hour breakdowns, and I'm being facetious, but you got guys doing 3-4 hour breakdowns, or at least trying to break down Revelations 13-16 and never come to a conclusion of what it is. These guys don't got it. They're not the men of the Lord. Okay, these are foxes. These are wolves, liars, deceivers. Okay, and ultimately they're set up to remove a lot of the undesirables. You know, they're a necessary evil. All right. Now, real quick, because remember, there's more. Obviously, there's going to be more false prophets and undesirables than the true prophets and the elect. The elect consists of a remnant, which goes into the remainder. It's a small number. It's not, in comparison to the nation, it's a small number. So the majority of our people are going to be following behind these false prophets, and the majority of the prophets are going to be false prophets. You see? Bear with me. Matter of fact, let me get one more scripture. I was going to get that video. This just hit me right here. Let's go here real quick. Let's get this real quick. Right? The book of, let me see here. The book of Malachi chapter 3 and verse 18, right? Then shall ye return and discern, which means to understand, between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and him that serveth him not, man. And all you got to do is measure a man that's gripping the Bible and claiming to be an ambassador of the highest power conceivable in his only begotten Son, and compare him to the scriptures, compare him to the doctrine, compare him to the reality of the ministry of Yahushai. All right? Do your diligent search. And first and foremost, pray to the Lord to reveal it to you and show you. Because some of these guys are real good. You know, some of these guys are real good. They're real deceptive. They're working witchcraft. They're operating under the spirit of the prince of the power of the air, which is the same spirit that Esau comes in, spiritual demon Satan. So they're working they're working magic on you. You see, a lot of our people that are caught up in Christianity, so-called, in the modern sense of the word, the Renaissance Christianity, they're under a spell. Jake is under a spell. They're sick. All right? But anyways, let's go. Let's stick to the point. Let's see. Let's get this from the brother. Or from the elder, excuse me, the elder apostle. Because I had it prepared, I believe. Let me see here. Bear with me here. Your works. All right, here we go. Bear with me. And it's through the spirit, because he played the beloved Elder Gabal Yahweh this video anyway. So it's one and the same. Let me see.
Well, let him play. Bridge, and he's gonna break that down wrong too.
And we were listening to this last night. He wasn't 2 years ago. He wasn't speaking about the bricks, and at least I haven't seen it. And the CBDC, let the record reflect that we here at GMS been telling you about the CBDC. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know. We've certainly been teaching you about the MOTB. The CBDC is going to event.
Right? He don't understand. He has no understanding.
It says the Bricks Bridge is a proposed, listen, read it. Yes, that's it. Woof, Lord have mercy. What's your name? Yuri, come on, I'm sorry.
The Bricks Bridge is a proposed digital payment platform and financial messaging system being developed by BRICS. The BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And there's other nations that are part of it, but they use the acronym BRICS. Oh, there it is, right there before me. I'm reading Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and extended members. So you can go to Google and put all the members of the BRICS nations. So they're coming up with a money system like an American-based SWIFT system.
Bear with me.
Country network.
Bear with me. I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth. Hold on. All right, here we go.
It's going to be digital. So BRICS have their own proposed digital payment platform and financial messaging system being developed by BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and others, and expanded members as an alternative, I guess, to the U economically. But guess what?
Nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and expanded members. Go ahead. As an alternative to Western-dominated systems like SWIFT, aiming to...
Didn't I just mention that? I didn't even know that was going to be brought up. So for Bishop Nate to bring all this stuff out, that means he knows it's ultimately going to lead to, he knows that it's going to be a digital system.
Right.
No more paper money. Most of the time I go to BJ's and certain other stores where to pay, what do you, South Pay, whatever. Most of the times, sometimes the option is dollars or credits or debits. The last 3 times was nothing but debits, man. So I could take out my bank card, credit card, whatever, and swipe it, and I'm good to go. But I would rather pay it in cash. I'm just used to paying. I'm old-fashioned, I guess. But they're getting the world slowly to switch over, get used to a digital system.
To facilitate, SWIFT is a system America set up with the U.S. dollar to do buying and selling with nations, countries.
And you can see that Bishop Nate is trying to sound like us. He be watching us, man.
Please, go ahead. Aiming to facilitate trade.
And you notice how he emphasized buying and selling with nations and countries, right? Remember he said, big nations, small nations. That's the embargo. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about, bro.
Reduce reliance.
Right, if he, like I said, maybe he's paid not to see it. But if you're talking about BRICS nations, if you're talking about the SWIFT system, if you're talking about CBDCs, which is right here, central bank digital currencies, right? Technologies, proposed digital system, right? You would have to know that it was down the line. It's going to lead to you getting the mark, the chip in your right hand.
On the U.S. dollar, the reduced with the U.S. dollar to do positive to Western-dominated systems like SWIFT, aiming to facilitate. SWIFT is a system America set up with the U.S. dollar to do buying and selling with nations, countries. Good. Aiming to.
And what he's forgetting to say is that's really a system that's set up based upon the world reserve currency, the digital dollar. The U.S. has to get a cut of any transaction made with oil. Venezuela, China, they have a deal. They got to switch over to U.S. dollars so they can get a cut. Like now, when you get your EBT card, when you get your money, it goes to a banking system, and you know they get a cut. Years ago, they didn't do that. So they don't want to do away with the EBT system or the welfare system, whatever, because the banks, every time there's a transaction, somebody getting those cards, they're making money. So that's in a larger scale is talking about the petrodollar.
To facilitate trade, reduce reliance on the U.S. dollar, reduce reliance on the U.S. dollar, and enhance financial autonomy using national currencies and potentially CBDCs, central bank digital currency. Everything.
Like I said, we've been talking about CBDCs 5-6 years ago. As soon as it came up, we were talking about CBDCs. He's just breaking up to the CBDC, which is going to lead digital, central bank digital currencies. They're going to do away with paper dollars. Everything going to be credit cards. Then they're going to do away with credit cards, and it's going to be a bank card with your bank. Then it's going to be a central bank. Now they're saying that the central bank ultimately is going to go to London, and then from that debit card, credit card, whatever, bank card to the central bank of the planet, everything's going to be chipped. Everybody around the world is going to be chipped. So that CBDC is going to be in your hand.
Is going digital. That's why now you realize y'all can pay bills on your phone. You go into a store and just boop. That's in your right hand.
Wait a minute. Did he slip?
Currency. Everything's going digital. That's why now you realize y'all can pay bills on your phone. You go into a store and just boop. That's in your right hand. It's in your hand, by the way. Right?
Now, what he's saying is, I'm going to let it play. We just caught him.
Right.
He said it's in your right hand.
We just caught him.
Meaning you.
Right? He just got caught. And that's all we need right there. All right? This dude's going to get a lot of you deleted. You know? A lot of you following by, because there's a lot of followers in the IUIC. And again, we know, right, that you're skipping around and listening to the elders and the GMS and the like-minded brothers, and you're just skipping around everywhere. So you're hearing these warnings, you know? Because honestly, this is a stern warning towards you sheep, because this nigga not going to change. Man, listen, he's caking up. All right, he's going to continue to push this false narrative and false doctrine. But you sheep following behind him, hey, whew, you're going to be, hey, listen, this dude's going to get you deleted. Right? And like the brother put, hold on for a second. I got to go back to my, and shalom to you, beloved Aki Amenak on the comment board. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Barakatham. To you, beloved Akiyam and Akwat. And Akiyam and Akwat, excuse me. Let me get this from the brother real quick. The brother GMS, Jacob will prevail. Hey, Shalom Amak Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Barakatham. Let me get this real quick. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 22 and verse 25, and it reads, there is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey, right? And you, Jake, following behind these false prophets of Israel, you're the prey. Check this out. They have devoured souls. See that? They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof, bro. Because again, a man of the Lord is supposed to direct, all right, the Lord's sheep into the into the correct direction. Okay? If the prophet is leading you into enemy territory, all right, and you don't know it, you out of there, man. All right? And these niggas teaching false doctrine, this is exactly what they're doing. Let me get another one real quick, the precept off of that. This reminds me of that Titus, right? Subvert whole households. The book of Titus, chapter 1, and verse 10, right? For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, which is talking to what? Those of us that know that we're Israelites, the so-called leaders of Israel. Okay? Literally, okay? Let me read this again. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, man. Okay? These, whose mouths, excuse me, and notice how it says, for there are many. I was making a point earlier as far as there's going to be more false prophets and undesirables than the true prophets and the elect. Because again, the elect is a remnant. The true prophets consist of the Lord's 144, which not all of them ahead. You got some of the men of the Lord in the heavens with the Lord, you know. But the point I'm making is the majority of these men you see teaching the scriptures are going to be false prophets. You see, and a lot of their sheep are going to be deceived sheep, undesirable sheep. You see, Jake that desired Yahweh Shai to be deleted. All right, those that chose Barabbas, right, a murderer and a thief. Those that chose Caesar for their king. A lot of you, Jake, you stem from that bloodline. You don't even know it. All right, remember they said, let their blood be on us and our children. So you here. All right, thinking that you're doing the right thing, but you falling behind a false prophet under a false doctrine. Right? Which is going to get you, you already know. Right? Let's go. Whose mouths must be stopped. They will be stopped. It's only a matter of time. Least Bishop Nathaniel repents. There's only a matter of time before the Lord stops him. Look at who subvert whole houses, bro. To subvert means to overthrow. You see? Teaching things which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake. And this is a perfect example. All right? Bishop Nathaniel. His various breakdowns of Revelations 13:16. You see? And you sheep continue to follow behind this man's rhetoric, man. This is madness, man. Hey, but at the end of the day, listen. As we titled the video, the deceived, pursuing to Job 12, the deceived and the deceiver belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. To him, his strength is wisdom, man. To Yahweh Bashim Yahweh is strength and wisdom. Matter of fact, let me close out with that. I don't want to put you that. We out. Right, the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 16, and it reads, with him, who? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his, man. You see that? If you belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, he's going to direct your steps, all right, to the finish line, man, to success. You see, but if you're not of his, he's going to keep you trapped and ensnared, right, under a wicked leadership, right, just so you can be destroyed right along with it. This is why you want to pray to the Lord to show you the truth. You see, you want to pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh to show you Show me, Lord, please, man. You know, and he'll direct you. He'll direct if you're of him, if you're of his, he'll direct you, man. But yeah, man, hey, I just want to put that on wax through the spirit, sound the alarm on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's holy mountain, and warn you sheep out there, man, that are clearly listening to the great millstone, and you're going back to IUIC. And this is why Bishop Nathaniel's got to start sharpening that dull-ass sword that he's working with, because he has individuals within his congregation questioning him in the backdrop. You better believe it. They're questioning him, asking. They got questions. They're raising questions. So now he's got to fine tune the doctrine and try to make it make sense based off the reality we're all living in, man, and where this thing is transitioning into. But I'm not going to force it. Hey, Lord willing, you beloved Akim and Akwath will edify. Hey, Lord willing, you were spiritually fed through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Lord willing, you were informed, right? For you sheep out there that are, teetering and tottering on the fence, hey, Lord willing, you were warned, man. All right, hey, this is, you have to receive the engrafted word that's able to save your soul, man, in the form of the true doctrine. All right, 1 Timothy 4:16, man. If I'm not mistaken, 1 Timothy 4:16. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Hey, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Hey, double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Hey, till next time, beloved Akim and Akwab. Till next time. Hey, Shalom.